This is a video I'm making in concordance with my last video on type O negative blood. So I decided that since it's kind of a controversial subject and people generally don't want to hear my mouth start blabbering because it's already fucking annoying enough, I decided I'm gonna have to make this video in the closet, so bear with me as I move these fucking clothes over here so I can actually shut this goddamn door and talk. Can you sense the anger in my voice? Don't worry, it'll all be over soon. Oh, God. Fucking hate people. Fucking hate them. Fucking bastards. I fucking can't stand them. Where's my fucking pistol? My rifles? My grenade launchers? My bombs? There. So here we go. Here we go. Excuse me. I just drank tea. Flower tea. Okay, so let's get fucking serious now. Type O blood history, etc. That's what this is titled. According to the Japanese, type O, you want to be a leader, and when you see something you want, you keep striving until you achieve your goal. You are a trendsetter, loyal, passionate, and self-confident. Your weaknesses include vanity and jealousy and a tendency to be too competitive. This would be all type O's, not just negative. You're considered the warrior type. Ambitious, vain. Famous type O's are Queen Elizabeth II, John Lennon, Elvis Presley, Paul Newman. Generally have better body strength and skin, with an impressive ability to withstand the cold. For people with blood type O, getting sleep is extremely important. The skin's ability to restore itself is between 2 and 3 a.m. and 1 and 2 in the afternoon. For blood type O's, avoid foam cleansers because your skin is already oily. The skin already releases a lot of oil and sweat naturally. Use a highlighting pen to accent your features. This is if you're interested in like enhancing your makeup and your looks and shit. Use a highlighting pen to accent your features, you know, like around your features and your eyebrows and stuff. O's tend to have bigger builds and more prominent features. Maybe big boned or something, which I can attest to that. I'm a little bit big boned, just a little. Theory of origin. Since Rh negative is an allele which is found predominantly among white population, It most clearly must be a mutation which followed after man's migrations from Africa to Europe. Rh negative is found much more frequently among A and O blood groups. So, A negative, O negative, which are the major blood types in Western Europe. Whereas Rh negative is much rarer among persons with B and AB blood types. If you watched the beginning of my last video, it's kind of easy to figure out. Referencing to two successful truth seekers that were type O negative blood types is Brad Steiger, Steiger, and he wrote a book called Gods of Aquarius. He was type O negative blood, and Robert Antone Wilson, who wrote the book Illuminus, type O negative blood. So, then, these are just basic. Then, so now what's the problem is that we don't know where the origins of Rh negative blood type were, the origin of it. All we know is that they came from the white race, and that it isn't an allele found in the monkey, genome, I guess you could say. Let's see, my memory is not exactly amazing. Basically, the Rh negatives are not, they're pure blood. The Rh negative factor means that this is the pure blood. A negative and O negative, mainly. These people do not have the hybrid, they're not hybrids, the monkey blood, as do the Rh positive bloodlines on Earth. So everything is like a bloodline. You can think about it like that. Rh positive means that people with this blood factor are positive for rhesus monkey protein, that they are essentially hybrid humans whose ancestors have been inbred with monkey DNA. And basically, the assumption is that the evil gods did this, and it's not natural, and it's also not our fault, I guess you could say. Basically, there are different theories, and I haven't read about all of them, but I got the basics, so we'll just start with basics, and then I'll make another video going into more detail if I can. Maybe not this week, but definitely soon. Basically, there are different theories related to where they may have come from, basically relating to Jesus, Joshua, related to the Anunnaki, which were basically thought to have been a highly advanced a highly specialized and advanced people that have a special DNA that I think ordered things like the New World Order and like Heineken, the dollar bill with the pyramid signs everywhere, you know, Chrysler, the Infinity card. So like, basically with that, it was thought that the Anunnaki, the white races descended from the Anunnaki, from and the ancient Israelites were descendants of the Elohim royal family of the Anunnaki. And basically, the African, the black races, descended from the evolved Homo sapiens and the hybrid created Adams, and they're basically considered the Eves. I don't know, I'm reading this off of a website. I'm not too familiar with this, because, you know, this was, well, pretty much, basically 432,000 years ago. So I think it was 250,000 years ago, actually. So basically, our species has just become really stupid. And these people were considered basically higher intelligence beings with basically superpowers, and they were thought to have been a part of this whole basically purebred human bloodline, which I have, but I mean, this was so many years ago that I'm nothing compared to what they were. And, you know, basically, their blood types were Rh negative, and they basically they were not Oriental, they were not black, they were all white. Some of them were half Anunnaki and half Homo sapien, because, well, basically, basically, that's about all I have to say for that. But, okay. The Rh negative bloodline was also thought to be the blood of the gods. So, really basically what that means is that they were maybe a descendant of, like, basically extraterrestrials, you know, and, or some of them may have thought to be reptilian. And, basically, what's going on here is that when, in today's world, regardless of how unevolved I am spiritually, how much of an asset I could be in someone's life, if I was to basically exchange basically energy with a man who is not really has my ancestral ties, you know, and say that me being Rh negative, carrying an Rh positive child, my body builds up antibodies to destroy this alien substance the same way it would a virus, thereby destroying the infant. Why would a mother's body reject her own offspring? Nowhere else in nature does this occur naturally. The same problem occurs in mules, a cross between a horse and a donkey. This fact alone points to the distinct possibility of a crossbreeding between two similar but genetically different species. So there's this whole thing about crossbreeding, and it's weird. No one has tried to explain where the Rh negative people came from. Basically, were thought to have been a mutation, if not descendants, of a different ancestor. Maybe the Basque people of Spain and France, they have the highest percentage of Rh negative blood. This could be another theory behind it. The Oriental Jews of Israel have a high percentage of Rh negative. You know, these are all white people. But you know, there's some Rh negative blood in black people as well. So it's just very, very rare. And it's even rarer among the Asians and Oriental folks. Some believe that the Basque people, to explain the importance behind this holy type of bloodline, sort of, so to speak, that they were the original language, these Basque people, the original language of the book of Genesis. Some believe it was the original language of the world and possibly of the Creator. Also, there are theories behind... I'm not going to read about that, because that would take me pretty much a couple hours. So... And it's just important to know that blood really is a more important factor in our lives than we really give it credit for, because blood is mentioned more often than any other word in the Bible except God. So I think that's interesting. It proves that there is a connection between the blood and the gods. So, Rh-negative blood, which appears not to have originated on Earth, may prove to be a major factor in proving mankind is a hybrid. Scientists are now able to determine the tissue factors of 5,000-year-old mummies. Could some of these mummies have been the ancient astronauts? Why were these mummies preserved well enough for us to analyze their blood and tissue factors? Could there be a message in the genetic factors of the mummies themselves? And, research has proven the majority of those with psychic powers also have Rh-negative blood. Most psychic and faith healers have this blood. Ancient astronaut theory and other phenomena also have Rh-negative blood. Those doing research in those fields. But it's important to note that there are 5,000 known blood factors, and all of these must contribute to the complete picture, but the Rh-negative blood is the place to start our search. And I'm really reading off of an internet website, so excuse me if I sound like basically a monotonous, person. A comparative analysis is now being done and we need your help. If you are reading this, you must be one of the lost children of Israel. Anyone else would have not read this far. Blah, blah, blah. So that's like... And there's something about Hyperborea, which... basically has to deal with the Scandinavians basically migrating to areas in the world known as Atlantis. And it's basically saying that all of our original ancestors originated in Hyperborea. And basically what it's saying is Rh-negative bloodlines were traced back to a place in Europe where inbreeding occurred. These studies take us back to a place where the dark-haired, dark-eyed races mingled their seed in with the blonde, blue-eyed Scandinavians in places like Iberian Peninsula, France, and the British Isles. So maybe I don't know, like, sorry, I'm trying to kind of assess that in my brain, but I can't. I know this is all so far back in time, and we live in this modern culture, modern society, where nothing really matters except these things like called love and harmony and new age and coexisting with each other and all this, and modern society with technologically advanced, and telepathy and all this shit, people spying on each other, and they just never did that back then, because people were so intelligent. They were doing things that us retarded ass, new age people just don't know anything about. We can't even, we feel like we're just being controlled, and so that goes back to the New World Order, which basically was said to have started with these blonde, blue-eyed Scandinavian Nazarene tribes that Jesus, Yahshua, was born into, are not to be confused with the red-haired, green-eyed bloodline known as the tribe of Cain, that is also known as the tribe of Dan, which is a hybrid bloodline. Hybrid is bad news, is what we're learning here. Not that you should all go and kill yourselves, but I still am unsure of which one it is that I am. I don't know. I obviously have green eyes, and so I might be a hybrid related to some factors within myself, but my actual blood type is pure. So my boyfriend actually looks a lot more like the Scandinavian, which he has blue eyes and light skin. His body type I'm a little bit confused about, but he definitely resembles the pure. I don't know his blood type, but I would suspect that it possibly is A negative or O negative. I would have to check about that. I'm sure it's important. I'm sure it is. So, beware of the Da Vinci Code bloodlines. Blah, blah, blah. Today, 5% of the Rh negative population on Earth that actually total 15% have what some people call the hybrid reptilian aquatic copper-based blood factor, which is like extra special. It's like the creme de la creme of blood. This very small in number yet globally powerful group rule our world today from behind closed doors. They are the group referred to as the Illuminati, the Shadow Government, the Bilderbergs, the elite, the leader of the New World Order, the rich and powerful, and the list of names go on. So there's a reason for everything. And so Jesus, holy, royal, Scandinavian, Israelites, and Anunnaki, blonde hair, blue eyes, and the alien groups who abducted these Rh-negative women to have this copper-based blood factor in their blood. This is all good. Except for the fact that the aliens basically used these the hybrid babies. Clearly I'm going insane right now. As human sacrifices. Well, clearly the reason why they did that is because they wanted them to basically be powerful, and they were abducted, and they were planted human alien fetuses in these women, and pretty much somehow they rule the world. They're the elite, the Illuminati, the New World Order, blah blah blah. Clearly that may be wrong, and I may be missing some points. But basically, lastly, which I'll say, almost lastly, basically the Rh-negative blood factor itself appears to be promoted by the Holy Bloodline authors as being Jesus's blood factor. And there are many people today that have this blood factor running through their veins today, and it is this group who originally had the divine right to rule the world until it was stolen from them by these evil entities and their hybrid bloodlines. So yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, what else can I really say at this point? There are other theories behind it, and, you know, I don't even think that my mom or my dad have my blood type. Somehow I came from them with my blood type, and I had somewhat of a messed up childhood, maybe because of it. And this is how I ended up how I am today. And it will lead to my either success or happiness or demise and tragic ending, which I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't, what else can I say? And so basically what I'm trying to figure out at this point is why I guess, incarnated here, and what is the purpose and reason behind it, and what can I do to erase the damage that I've already done, which is just to myself, but I don't know exactly if it could be turned around or not, and if not, then how will it lead to my fate, or whatever you want to call it. So, clearly I'm not the best communicator on these topics, but I'm learning and I'm trying. So this is more about Rh-negative blood, lines, groups, types, and yeah, I'm an idiot, but I tried. So, comments or questions, or what do you think? And that's about it. Thank you for viewing. Have a good day or night, wherever you are around the world. Bye.